Hello friends, a warm welcome from Aussizz group. My name is Malcolm and I'm your PTE coach. Today we are back with a live session on one of the things in PTE which is very important. And along with me I've got Tanu ma'am from Aussizz Clayton, and I also got Mehak ma'am from Aussizz Thomastown. So thank you very much Tanu and Mehak for being here. Really good to have you both here. So friends, our today's live session is on a very important topic, which is basically the PT pre-exam preparation. Like what should we be careful about before the exam, during the last week of the preparation, and mainly in the last 1 or 2 days. So obviously it's one of the most important things, because if you're worried, then obviously things won't go in your favor, and you know what happens after that. So first I'll start with Tanu. So Tanu, in your experience in the last week, what should we be more careful about? How should the modus be for the practice?
Hi friends, I'm Tanu from Aussizz Clayton, and today we all three are together to help you guys. If you have any queries, any questions, you can always post them in the comment section, and we will start with the questions asked me that how focused we should be, or what problems we face in the last a week before our exam.
Right.
So I would say the biggest problem lot of students face is motivation and focus. So as the exam approaches, we think that we are not prepared and we don't know what to do. Should we reschedule, or should we actually sit, or how should we begin that preparation? So I would say the number one thing you have to tell yourself is that you can do it, and then only you will be able to do it. So you have to overcome that fear that I'm not prepared.
Right.
And the second most important thing is practice. So you have to practice, you have to make a schedule, and you have to practice. Start with the most important tasks, high weightage tasks, which are very important for PT. And once you start with that, just tell yourself you can do it. Stay dedicated and focused, and I believe that'll help them a lot. Right. What do you think, Mehak?
Yes, focus is important, but what I feel like is being confident on the day of the exam also plays an important part. You should not be stressed.
Of course.
I have seen many people who are stressed even though they have prepared really well, but under the pressure, they are not able to perform that well, and they get stuck at 78 or below that in one of the modules. So be confident, and yes, be without stress on that day. That will also help someone.
That's very true, because on the day of the exam, a lot of thoughts come in the mind, especially before the test is starting. And as we all know, the first module is speaking, and if speaking doesn't go that well, obviously the confidence goes down, and then the whole test is, it's a downward spiral. So many issues with that.
Yeah, I think we panic. Especially
People panic.
when the biggest fear a lot of our students faces, those who are first time test takers, they are not very familiar with the environment. So the moment they sit for the exam, and everyone in the room, they start speaking. So everyone, the whole room is speaking something. They get, they are not very focused, and they are,
they lose track.
Yes, they lose the track.
You get distracted, and then you start doing mistakes. And once we start making mistakes, what we feel is like, oh, I have done it wrong. Now I won't be able to do it now.
Right. So we've got a first comment from Arsalan Hussain. He's wishing us good morning. Thank you, sir. Good morning to you as well. And he has a question that please advise a good way to practice essay writing. So Mike, what do you think? Like essay writing, how should people deal with that?
So for the essay writing, what I feel is first let you yourself introduce with the structure of the essay, the way we need to write the essay, and don't rely on the Microsoft Word autocorrect features.
Right.
We are so used to the autocorrect features that we keep on making spelling mistakes with it. So try writing them on the notepads or the word pads, and then you can copy paste it and check your mistakes.
Right.
But yes, first assure that you know the structure, what we need to write, or maybe you can create a structure for yourself that would help in the exam, because it's a time limit management is also important part. Some people, they have ideas in mind, but they won't be able to write it in 20 minutes.
That's true. That's true.
I believe the other way is that when you are practicing essay, you have to know, you have to understand the topic. So basically, you should know that whether they are asking you your opinion, or whether they are asking you to discuss the topic, or whether they are, asking you to discuss a specific problem and, suggest some solution.
Right.
So you have to analyze the statement which is given to you. So if they have asked a particular question in the essay, you should ideally, answer that question in the essay. So you don't go off track basically. So stay with the topic.
Right, and obviously I think the best way is to write few essays. Like in the last 2 weeks, at least 4 or 5 essays you can write, and you can get them corrected from somebody who knows how to, find out the mistakes mainly. So you can also use our essay correction facility given on ptetutorials.com. That's mainly for the essays and describe image tasks, which is very important in speaking. So if you're not confident or you want some suggestion, Arslan, I would suggest you to use that facility on ptetutorials.com. It's very reasonably priced and you'll get the feedback for 3 essays which you write and all the summaries as well. So just use that, and also I think on our prediction file, which we come out every month with the help of our experienced tutors and Bhavesh in India, who is mainly looking after everything. So every month we come out with the repeated essays. You can just download the prediction file for the month of March, and for the month of April it's going to come out pretty early, actually around the 20th of March. The prediction file for April is going to come out. Yeah. So just have a look and hopefully you will get essays directly from that file. So it's going to be very helpful for you as well.
Yeah, I believe feedback is very, very
important.
Feedback,
yeah. So you need somebody to, I think, pick out the mistakes.
Right,
that's the main thing.
And we've got MD Cream, and he's also asking us a question. Thank you for watching us. And he's asking, so what about repeat sentences? Do we need to write initials or just close eyes and listen? What do you say, sir?
According to me, writing initials is a very risky proposition in repeat sentence, because if you are going to write, then you lose track of what you hear, and then under pressure things, as I'm saying, it's very easy to make mistakes. So
that's right, yeah.
Don't write anything, just listen and try your best to remember and just copy whatever you hear. That's it.
When you start to practice, just try to analyze which part of the sentence you struggle to recall. So I believe rather than writing initials of the full sentence, you can sometimes try and write initials of the part you forget most often. So if you think you're forgetting the first bit and you're good with the last part, so you can just write 3 initials of the first 3 words, and you don't have to write the full thing. So repeat sentences is one task where bulk practice is must. So just practice that.
I think even initials, sometimes even the pens don't work immediately, so it's a bit demotivating in that crunch situation. So best is don't rely too much on noting, and as she said, maybe 1 or 2 initials, maybe if you require. But practice without initials, that's better according to us.
And we've got Priya. Hi Priya. Sorry, Priyal. She's asking, also I'm constantly getting good score in other 3 modules and enabling skills too, but somehow fluency and speaking is not increasing, which costing me tests.
Correct.
I do believe that speaking fast is not only fluent, but many are advising me to speak fast. Is it mandatory?
What do you think, Mehak? Is it mandatory to speak fast?
No, speaking fast is not mandatory. You have to speak at your natural pace, but yes, that should not be too relaxed as well.
That's right.
Generally, the pace that we suggest is 130 to 140 words per minute. So if you are doing in that way, so that you don't have to speed up. Because when we speed up, we'll start clubbing words together. And that would entirely change the meaning of the word, and you will lose your score. So please do not speak too fast.
And I'd also like to add that sometimes it's not only about the speed, it's about the clarity also. Like real, sometimes people are very fast but very clear and they still get 90 in everything. Sometimes people are a bit slow and very clear and they still manage to get 90. So you need to find your correct speed, which is fluent and very clear. I mean, both go hand in hand.
Yeah, so as they both mentioned it, pretty much everything what needs to be done. I would like to add just one thing. Just make sure you don't give any unnecessary pauses.
Right.
So make sure you don't, give a very obvious pause on any of the punctuation marks. So just, it should be free flowing speech.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you are doing that, I believe you don't have to sit for another one prayer.
Yeah, don't speak too fast also.
Yeah.
Alright, so Brinda has a question. I need to know some tips to score 90 in fluency, and which tasks do I need to focus more to improve my fluency? What do you think, ma'am? For fluency, what to do?
What I feel is for the reading, for the speaking section, if I say the read alouds, they are the first task.
Yeah.
And they set up the motion of your exam. So please be careful while attempting that. If you attempt really good, you will get confident. And even though in the other parts, if you do a bit low, but it will be, you'll have an impact.
I think that's the benefit of PTE we all get, that the tasks are integrated.
That's true.
So if it is all about fluency, then I believe read aloud is one task and retell lecture is another one, which can help boost your fluency.
Alright, so I think we had another comment also from Akhil. Akhil was mentioning that good to see you here. So Akhil, thank you so much for the comment. It's good to see you live as well. And
we've got Navdeep. Hi Navdeep, thank you for watching us. And he's asking, I lose marks because of repeat sentence. I practice a lot but still forget the sentence. So Navdeep, as we already mentioned, the best way is to stay relaxed and just try to recall as much as you can. And when you are practicing, I believe, try to focus which part you are missing the most. And I believe if you can get hold of that part, try to write the initial. So this has worked for a lot of our students. And what do you say, Malcolm, about it?
Sorry, for which task?
Repeat sentences.
For repeat sentences, I think generally, I mean, no need to write the initials, as I've said always, but it's better if you try to understand the phrases. If you understand the phrases, you'll get at least some idea of what is happening. Because blind copying also doesn't work. You need to understand something.
Yeah, but he's saying that, you know, he's been practicing a lot. Still he forgets the sentence. So I believe,
you know, I feel, Tanu, is even if they are not able to complete the whole sentence, whatever they remember, they should say that fluently and pronunciation. They shouldn't stop there and start thinking what the next word was.
Right.
Because that makes them lose their fluency score as well. Anyhow, they are losing the score on the content. Then there is no point of losing the score on the fluency.
And I think as Mehak very correctly started a session by saying that it all depends on the day of the test. So basically, I think maybe you're worrying too much. Maybe you're not able to, I mean, you know, relax your nerves. You need to be relaxed and, you know, focused at the same time.
Yeah.
It's an easy task. Yeah, some sentences will be lengthy, but don't lose track. Like one bad sentence doesn't mean the whole test is bad. You still have a lot of scope to get a very high score later on.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
And we've got MD, and he's asking in dictation, how about marking, and his sequence is important?
Yeah, obviously sequence is the most important thing, obviously MD cream. So yeah, sequences have, I mean, the sequence has to be accurate. Yeah. No substitute for a right sequence in right from dictation.
Yeah, no matter, you know, every word you write will get you marks, but it has to be in the right position, the way it was said. So try to work on that, because it is a very, very important and a high weightage task.
Right, right. It is obviously. So basically, don't think too much. Don't analyze too much and write from dictation. What many people have a lot of opinions on write from dictation. Yeah. Whatever they say, one thing everyone says correct, that it is the most important task. So you need to get it 100% accurate. There's no doubt about that.
Sometimes,
if it's accurate,
you know,
yeah, you get it.
They ask me that, can we add an extra word if you're confused?
Yeah, that's pretty common these days. Like many people suggest like writing 1 or 2 words together, but that's again very risky. And generally, it's not necessary. If you practice enough, you don't need to do that in the actual exam. I mean, I can understand sometimes sentences are a bit difficult, but as I'm saying again and again, kindly practice from the prediction file for April 2018. It's going to be live very soon, hopefully by the end of next week. And then things are going to be very smooth, even for write from dictation, because questions are almost always repetitive in PTE. That's a good thing.
And Malcolm, I would like to add one thing here, because in write from dictation, the sentences will generally be grammatically correct sentences.
That's right.
So even if you miss something, or if you feel like you are not sure whether it was places or place, so just look at the grammatical structure of the sentence, and that will give you an idea what was the correct word. That might help as well.
Yeah, the grammar has to be sorted, because if you make mistakes like ed, es, then it's gone, it's finished.
Anytime there is a spelling error, of course, the score is going to go down.
And obviously PT also, you know, keeps on changing the sentences a bit. So no need to memorize the sentences, try to remember the words and just try to understand the context of the sentence. Maybe you don't get the same one, you get a similar one. So then memory doesn't help always, like memorizing things. So try to understand things and then remember things. Maybe that's a better way to remember things.
And we had Dr. Amanpreet. She's our regular, I
think,
follower. So thank you, Aman, again for being there and supporting us like always. Thank you, we appreciate it.
Thank you. Even Navdeep is saying thank you. So Navdeep, thank you so much. I think your test is tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully you'll get 8 each tomorrow.
Good luck.
Pretty confident about that. Alright, Saurav has a question as well. Never did PT, but IELTS when came to Australia. So when should I start the PT preparation to get 79 plus? I've been for 1 year. So if you've been for 1 year, I think this is the right time to start. Because many times people realize later that they need to take PT. I mean, people know, but people are not, you know, serious enough. So.
And I believe, you know, if you're targeting 79 plus and you have no idea of the exam, this is the right time.
Correct.
Because
and later on, you know, when they will have pressure, like I have to get it in 15 days or a month or so, that hampers your progress.
Yeah, that's right.
So please start now.
Right. So even MD Cream has a question again. What is the time we need to spare for dictation?
So I would say generally number of questions is 3 to 4. So sometimes if you're really unlucky, it can go up to 5. He said he got 5 right from dictations, which was pretty unusual. So if we think, you know, we've got 3 to 4 questions left, ideally we should be having around 3 minutes. I believe that should be alright, 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, maybe around 4-5 minutes.
Yeah,
I think,
1 minute for one sentence. I generally, you know, tell my students, because the sentences are not very long. So if we, you know, if a sentence is say 8 words or 10 words long, it will not take you more than a minute to write it.
Because sometimes, as she mentioned all the things perfectly in the beginning of the video, that she was talking about pressure. So obviously, like even the best of the best people sometimes crumble under pressure. It's nothing to do with English. It's about how you deal with the English in the test. So it's an easy test. Many questions are repetitive based on a bit of luck or bad luck, but never to like worry too much about anything.
That's right.
All right.
We've got Pratibha. Hi Pratibha.
Hi Pratibha. Thanks for joining in the live session. Thank you.
And she's asking, I heard using backspace key in writing reduces spelling scores. Is that true?
So Pratibha, in my experience, like if you use a backspace a lot of times, maybe the spelling scores can go down. That's what I think. So generally I recommend don't use backspace. But even if you use backspace, let's say 100 times in the test, it is not going to impact the writing score. So even in the video which I made almost last year, very clearly I mentioned that even if you use backspace 100 times, it will not impact the writing score. The only thing which might go down is spelling. So even if you use backspace, you don't need to worry. But if you make actual mistakes in spelling, then obviously writing has to go down, because spelling means writing means spelling. So don't worry about the backspace key, it's not that important. Just focus on correct spellings, that's the most important thing. So hope I've answered your question. Thank you. All right. Yeah, even Dharminder has a question. So is sequence important for repeat sentences, the sequence of words?
Yes, obviously. As you have already said, in right from
yes.
dictation and repeat sentences,
Yes,
sequence is important. You are marked on the number of correct words you have said. If you have added a word, it's still okay.
Yeah.
But yes, the sequence is important.
Yeah, because in both the tasks, the instruction very clearly states that you need to repeat it exactly
The same.
as it's spoken.
Yeah.
So exactly means in the correct sequence, unfortunately. So we have to follow the sequence.
Try to not to rephrase the sentence.
Yeah, just try to be fluent and just try to understand what the speaker is saying and be a bit, relaxed. That's the main thing. Relax, understand and repeat it. That's it.
And we've got
Saurav. Saurav is asking how long is the test valid, the score?
2 years. 3 years, depending on your
depending
situation.
Yeah, that's right. So
if it is education purposes, I think it's 2 years, and for migration, it's 3 years.
Yeah, it's different for both the visas. For migration purposes, 3 years. For education, 2 years. So you're safe for migration for 3 years. So go with PTE. It's a much easier way to get 79 each or 8 each.
Yeah, I think it's very hard in IELTS.
It's for 2 years.
Generally, people struggle with, in IELTS, what I've seen is with either the writing or the speaking.
Is one thing where most of them people struggle.
That's right. All right. So thank you, Pratibha. Thank you. So even Rajmeet Aulak has a question: how to improve reorder, as these are too confusing and contributes too much towards reading. So Tanu, what do you have to say about reorder paragraphs?
I would say a lot of people, they have this misconception that reorder paragraphs are very confusing and they have a lot of weightage. I don't think so that reorder paragraphs are they are very high weightage tasks. So first thing, and I know most of you guys do struggle when you try to solve reorder paragraphs. So the first strategy to do reorder paragraphs is you have to look for an independent sentence and you have to go from there. I think Rajmeet, you already know that the marks you get is for the right pairs and not for the right position. So try to make correct pairs rather than figuring out the position of each of the sentence. It is highly advisable that you try to form right pairs. So try to link two sentences. So if a sentence has a proper noun, say someone's name, and the other sentence has got he in it, so try to form that link.
Nouns, pronouns,
subjects
like
and objects, sometimes that help as well.
So don't try to think too much. That's what I was saying. Like, don't overanalyze things in PT. Keep them simple. Focus on per question. After it's done, just forget it. Don't forget. Focus too much on the score. Yes, knowing the scoring pattern and criteria obviously is important. But focus on the test, because the test is going to get you the score, not the score. So focus on the test and things will work out for you.
And I believe there are most of the times it's 2 reorder paragraphs.
2 to 3 questions come generally. Yeah, that's right. So if there are more questions, try to be a bit more careful, because more questions obviously means few more points. So just use your common sense. Like if you got 4 dictations instead of 3, you get more points in listening and writing. So
and if you've got your exam coming up, you can always practice some reorders from the prediction file.
Yeah, they are generally repetitive, as we said.
It will help you a lot.
Definitely. Well, Santosh, sorry.
You go ahead.
Alright, sorry. So Santosh has a very interesting question. Is it true that PT adds new questions in every March? Well, so your observation is actually bang on. Even last March and April, they added a lot of new questions, but it's not like fixed. Like I've been teaching PT since a very long time. Last to last year, no, it was not like that. They added somewhere in September, October. Then even last year, again in October 2018, a few new questions were added. And it's not fixed like that. But yeah, generally around every 6 months, you can expect something. It's not fixed. And many institutes, like, I would not say institutes, but many people spread rumors in the market. So what has to happen has to happen. Like, how can we control it anyway?
And we are seeing that few people are getting new questions these days as well.
So
They are
I think they keep on adding.
They keep on adding gradually.
Yeah, or they can, make some changes to the existing questions.
yeah, so the pattern has been the same since day one. The pattern of the test is still the same. So you don't need to worry about the pattern, because if the pattern is going to change, they'll need to update the scoring guideline and the PTE guideline, the PTE score guide. So it's there on the net. So first thing is, every day you should check that guideline if it's updated or not. If that is updated, yes, you need to relearn again everything.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have Tanu. Thank you, Tanu.
Thank you,
She's
Tanu.
asking, thanks, sir, for helping students like me. You always rock. We do believe he rocks.
Thank you so much, Tanu. Thank you. And congratulations on getting your NATI score as well. Congratulations on clearing the CCL as well. Thank you.
And Prathipa is asking, is there any specific vocabulary list for fill in the blanks reading? Yes, Mal, what do you say about it? Have you heard about any specific?
Best list for vocabulary is, I think, the collocations list given on the Pearson website. You just have to go to Google and type PTE space collocations. That's it. Press enter, PTE collocations. You'll get a list of around 2,479 pairs.
Yes,
that's around 2,500 collocations. Now the thing is that, many times people get afraid that it's a very lengthy list. Should we do it? So it's not compulsory, but it helps.
Yeah, and I think most of them, most of the phrases you're pretty aware with them, so it should not be a problem recalling. I think giving it a good read can actually help you a lot.
Like, any country would expect you to be good at collocations, especially if you want to live in that country. So if you're good at collocations, and mainly academic collocations, you're pretty much good to go in this test. Yeah. So that's the best vocabulary.
And we have MD Krim asking another question, and he's like, maximum words in summarized written text.
What do you think?
And in summarized spoken text.
For the summarized written text, they have said like it's 5 to 75
Correct.
words. So if you can make a good sentence, you can go till 75.
Yeah, but one sentence.
Yes.
Yeah,
so the instruction says one sentence.
Generally, it is suggested you stop at 35 to 50 words, because as we move ahead, there are chances we'll make more mistakes.
That's right, yeah.
So how many words do you reckon is good enough in summarized written text?
35 to 50 words is good enough.
Ideal, maybe some in the middle. So you don't do too short, not too lengthy, so you're safe and you can cover most of the key points. You don't have to cover everything. It's a summary. Summary means main points, that's it.
And how about summarized spoken text? Summarized spoken text, I believe, is 50 to 75 words.
70. So yeah, that's
50
it.
to
50 to
70
70.
words.
So there you don't need to worry too much. It's maximum 70. So keep it around 60 to 70. That's it.
Yes.
And try to cover more keywords in summarized spoken.
But
some people I have seen they use the templates, but I won't suggest using the templates as it is. As I always say, use them wisely.
Yeah, that's true.
Because otherwise you will lose your keywords and you'll lose the listening score.
Yeah,
that's right.
We have seen many people getting stuck at 78.
That's right.
So even if you use a template, use it a bit smartly. Use your common sense. Yes, templates can get you a very high score, but if you make mistakes, then gone. So just be a bit smart. That's it. Alright, so Saurav
is saying, thank you for advice, sir. I've listened a lot from my friends about you. That's why I took your advice. When should do, what should do? Thank you. Highly appreciate.
Thank you so much, Saurav. Thank you for a comment. Really appreciate you joining us here. Thank you.
And
Rajmeet has a question, Mehak. How many marks does read aloud contribute to the reading section approximately?
See, approximately we can say they would be giving you somewhere around 22 to 25 or 27 marks.
Right.
But there is no set marks which has been revealed by PTE that exactly these many marks will be given for the reading section.
Right.
But yes, the content is important.
Yeah, please don't. I'm sorry. Please don't. No, please continue.
But the content is important. Generally, your content score will make your reading score, not the fluency and the pronunciation. So be sure that you are not adding any words, exchanging words, or doing a deletions.
Right.
Yeah, she correctly mentioned that 27 marks, or it can go up to 28, 29 also,
depending upon the number of
the number of the
and the length of
if you if you appear for one of their mock tests and you just do the speaking section and you don't do any other of the modules, you can actually see how much scores you will be getting in reading, how much scores you will be getting.
I think with the speaking section it goes to somewhere around 35 or something.
Yeah.
But that includes the other schools as
Yes, obviously it depends on the number of questions. Approximately between 20 to 30, ballpark figure is somewhere around 25 approximately. Alright, so even Shrikant has a question that my recent score is listening 80, speaking 90, writing 80, reading 66. So where should he work for a better score in reading?
Shrikant, thank you for asking the question. As you scored 66 in your reading and writing is also 80. So 80 is just the border, I would say, 79, because it's just 1 mark up. And same thing for listening. So that means you have to work on the tasks which are getting you marks for not only reading, but for those very areas to secure your position that next time also you'll be getting more than 79. So I would say that you should work on your reading and writing, fill in the blanks, because it is a very important task, quite high weightage also. Another task is your summarize spoken text, because your listening score is also 80. So again, a task which contributes towards your listening and towards again writing is summarize spoken. And another one is your fill in the blanks from listening, which is again a good weightage task. So spellings are very important in that task. Whenever you're doing your essays and reading and writing summaries, also please make sure that you're good with the spellings and your grammar too.
Right, and even dictations, I think.
Right from dictation.
But if your reading is solo, if your reading is 66, then you should also focus on the reorders, the reading
and the
blanks.
reading blanks.
Obviously, the
Right.
blanks and the
Drag and
reorders.
drops, yeah.
Even read aloud, like many times people get 90 in speaking, I mean, despite making mistakes in read aloud. So don't be too confident about your speaking 90. That doesn't mean that you are not making mistakes. You could be making mistakes in read aloud. So try to analyze that part as well. And mainly the blanks and the reorders, try to be more accurate. Even actually, Santosh has a pretty similar score.
Yes, true. So listening 64 and writing 68. So that means you need to work on the tasks which are giving you marks for listening and writing.
Yeah.
So I believe summarize spoken text could be one of them.
Yes.
Right from dictation.
Right from dictation, summarize. So basically focus on your listening.
Where you need to type, be accurate. That's it. Don't make mistakes in typing. That's where people unfortunately lose the plot. So
Because we don't want to practice much.
Yes, that's right. So, how to write numerical values in dictations? Anything is fine. I mean, if as far as possible, write the words. But sometimes, let's say you get like a year like 1982. If you get, then no need to write 1982. You can just write 1982. Yeah. It's okay. But generally, you don't get a lot of numerical values. So, no need to worry too much. But yeah, as far as possible, if it's possible, write it in letters or words. That's what I would suggest.
We've got another question from Sabin. Hi Sabin, and he's asking how to improve in speaking read aloud.
What do you think, Tanu?
I would say speaking mainly depends on your fluency, pronunciation, your intonation. So all these three things matters a lot when you are doing your speaking section, and especially read aloud.
Right.
So read aloud is basically, your fluency should be spot on because it's as I said, it's a high weightage task. So the first thing you need to do is when you are reading, try to record yourself, listen to yourself and just see how fluent you are, or whether you are giving any unnecessary pauses, or you're just stopping, or you're fumbling, or you're repeating a word, correcting your mistake. So try and avoid all those areas, and I believe if you're doing good, if you're not doing any of these mistakes, you can do well in your read aloud.
And as she correctly said, I think don't try to be too over enthusiastic in read aloud. Try to be relaxed. Don't add words. Don't remove words. Be accurate and smooth. Yeah. That's it. Just speak naturally.
And be consistent as well.
Yeah.
I have seen people they start going up. They start speaking too fast at one point, and then they get too slow at the other point. Yeah. So please be consistent with your pace.
That's right. So just follow. That's right.
And Rajmeet was saying thank you Rajmeet for asking us questions, and we hope that you get your desired score soon.
Sure. Even I think somebody had a question like, does adding extra words in write from dictation lead to negative marking? What do you think, Tanu? Extra words, negative marking?
There is no negative marking in write from dictation. The only task which has got negative marking in PTE is multiple choice questions, and you have to choose multiple answers in that, and another one is highlight incorrect words from listening. So apart from these two tasks, in multiple choice in both listening and reading, and highlight incorrect words in listening, apart from these tasks, I don't think so any of the other tasks got negative marking.
But if possible, don't add extra words. Why will you add extra words? That is my question. Why do you want to take a chance? I mean, it says exactly, you write exactly. So try to listen carefully in the first position, and first place, and then just follow
remember, there is no human checking your exam, so it's a software. It knows that maybe 10 words were spoken and you've written 11.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
So I generally don't recommend any of you guys to
add
write
extra
an extra
words.
word.
But many people say this thing like, if you're not sure, you write is and are both. Even
So
I feel like that won't help much.
I mean, it depends. There's no fixed thing. It depends how many times you do something in the test. So frequency also matters, but generally not recommended. Don't try these hacks. Like sometimes it works for somebody, doesn't mean it will work for you as well.
Right.
Like speaking, generally people say speak fast, as Priyal also asked. But no, you don't have to speak fast. Depends on how you speak. So it's like
Mainly
that.
how.
Yes. I think even another student had a question about Kalai Sevi. She had mentioned a score. Her score in speaking was 70 and remaining were in like 58, 68. So to get 79, firstly, I think you need to focus on your speaking. You need to increase it to 90 if you're looking for 79. Definitely you need 90 in speaking. And for writing scores, focus mainly on the reading drop-down blanks, your summaries, your essay, write from dictation, listening, fill in the blanks. And for reading, focus on the actual reading module like blanks and reorders. So mainly in blanks and reorders and reading, that will push up your reading and writing also, partly.
And we've got Pratibha, she's asking, marking one answer in multiple choice, multiple answers is enough. Now, it is a low weightage task, so you can do that. It's a negative, and it has got negative marking. So if you select one correct, one incorrect, and the maximum negative you can get is 0. So
especially with the listening one, because you have to manage the time there.
Very true. Very true.
And you should have time for your write from dictation. So instead of spending more time on multiple choice, spend more time there.
Yeah,
they
so
are more heavy weightage.
So in short, it is enough. Yeah, sometimes it is enough. I mean, to get 79, it is enough. To get 90, maybe not, but yeah, it's enough. So you don't want 79.
Unless you're very sure about the second answer,
only
why
that.
not?
Of course. You need to be sure, that's right.
And we've got MD again, and he's saying, I wrote my exam on 7th March. When I started my listening session, suddenly problem occurred. System said error in application. Till now, waiting for update. No response from person. What shall I do?
So today is the 14th of March, and this is common in the test also. It happens. If you lodge a complaint, your scorecard might be placed on hold for a couple of days. So just need to be a bit more patient. And you just need to mail them regularly. So you can leave them a mail again.
Yeah, or you can give them a
call on a toll-free number. It's there on Pearson's website. So just call them or mail them. That's it. And just hope for the best.
And we've got Pradeep. Hi Pradeep, and he's asking, please suggest summarized written text method. I'm able to capturing keywords but unable to form proper sentences. Shall we use semicolon furthermore and
yes, you can, definitely you can, because one sentence means one full stop, so you can use a semicolon, furthermore, comma, and then write another thing. That's absolutely fine. So try not to make mistakes. If you're struggling with forming sentences, try to keep the sentences almost similar, just change few words. I mean, that is the best you can do to minimize the errors, so maybe you can try that. So there's no strategy in summarized written text, and there is not even a template. I mean, there are templates, I've seen templates for everything, which is very silly actually. I mean, templates are very risky, provided you by heart them really well and don't make mistakes.
And as Mehak said, you have to use them very wisely.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So, yes. Sunita, thank you for asking the question. I remember you asked, like, you're living in SA, that's I think Adelaide, I'm sorry, South Australia. So unfortunately, I'm not taking the online classes as of now, but we have a very good team who take the online classes. We've got a big team of trainers. So just go to ptetutorials.com. and you can opt for either the one-to-one online classes or group classes as per your requirement. But as far as I remember our last conversation, you have not taken PT before. So I think for you, it's better if you go with the group classes. That's better for you. And it's priced very reasonably, approximately around $250, approximately, I'm not sure. So you can just check our website, ptetutorials.com, and you'll get an idea of the pricing as well. But please go with the group classes. You'll get good material from the real exam also. So thank you, Sunita. Thank you. Yes, Mac, even Vicky has a question. He's got listening 61, speaking 90, writing 71, reading 68.
So
you want 65 in listening.
Yes, so as Tanu has already suggested, so for the people who are struggling to get their listening and writing or reading score, please do focus on the tasks that are heavy weightage and they are giving marks in both of them.
Like,
especially your write from dictation. For the reading, you can, or for the listening, write from dictation, summarize spoken text.
retail lecture is very important.
Yes.
I think retail lecture contributes very heavily towards your
listening
and repeat sentences too. So
for the writing and the reading, focus more on your reading writing blanks. That will improve both your reading and your writing score.
That's true.
Along with write from dictation. So writing can be sorted out from these two tasks. What I feel is,
so if it is only listening, I would say you have to be very careful about retail lecture, repeat sentences, write from dictation, and you'll be fine.
All right. So Abbas, can you please comment again? I'm sorry. We are sorry we missed your comment. If you could just comment again, we'll be more than happy to reply back.
Guys, if we are missing out on any of the comments, don't worry. We will be answering them very shortly.
Yeah.
So don't stress.
All right. There's one more question. Like, does mock test and real test vary widely? Very random. It can vary. It cannot vary. I mean, it's a mock test, right? So it's going to be random. Even the real exam questions are random.
Yeah, I think the format will be same.
Yes,
so you will expect the same screen, same instructions, same the bar, the time, everything's same apart from the questions.
Yeah, but the difficulty level we cannot comment.
Yeah,
it's a mock test. Even the real exam is a type of a mock test. So questions are randomly selected in a real exam. So nothing is fixed.
And Narendra is asking, hi, my last PT attempt was on March 11. I got listening 71, reading 65, speaking 75 and writing 71. Where should I have gone wrong? Any suggestions to improve to get 79 plus in all modules? Yes, so what do you have to comment
Well, firstly, you need to work on your speaking. Speaking is the backbone in PT. You need to get 90 in speaking. Your writing score is good. It's 71, which means you're making just silly mistakes in maybe many tasks in typing, could be. You could also be making mistakes in write from dictation, the summaries, the listening blanks, the reading drop-down blanks. So mainly you work on your speaking first. That is what we would recommend.
To anyone who I believe wants 79 plus score, they have to get 90 in speaking before they can actually get their other scores, in place.
Alright, so Abbas is back with this question. He's missing his target in listening and writing. So Mehak, what would you say again? Listening and writing, he's missing out.
So here's a 19.
In speaking, reading is 84.
So Abbas, because you're losing your target only in the listening and writing, focus on the task that gives you score in both of them.
Correct.
That is your write from dictation, listening, fill in the blanks, your summarized spoken text. And also sometimes I have seen the listening scores are impacted by the repeat sentences as well.
Of course.
So please be careful in the repeat sentences as well for the listening score specifically.
Right. Speaking 90 is no guarantee that you're not making mistakes.
That's right.
You would know that better than me and better than us, obviously, how you're performing in your speaking. Yeah. So judging by that, you can...
Many times in retail lectures, what I've seen is, people use templates and they use less content, which,
which again is a factor,
listening score. So try to be more, apart from just being fluent, try to capture more content also in listening.
Right. Try to understand which tasks are giving you a good score. Yeah. I mean, that is the most important thing to understand before taking any test. Yeah. And focus always on the integrated task. Whichever module, doesn't matter. If it's integrated, it is integrated, means 2 in 1.
It is important.
So it is important. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is important. Alright, we'll take the last few questions and we'll end the session because we need to start our class as well very soon. Alright, so last 3 or 4 questions. MD Cream, in read aloud, do we need to focus on pronunciation or fluency? As I lack in pronunciation, should I go slow?
So for the read alouds, I say both are important because it is an integrated task. As Malcolm has already said, integrated tasks are important.
Of course.
If you lose your pronunciation, you will lose your content score.
That's right.
Because software won't understand what you have said.
Reading goes down. Yes. If pronunciation is down, reading goes down.
So that means we have to be careful of our pronunciation as well in the read alouds. Yeah. So try to work on it.
That's right.
Practice is the key.
Of course. No doubt about that. So, I mean, try to improve your pronunciation. You know it's bad or it's not that good. That is a good thing. Many times people don't know their mistakes or their shortcomings. You know it. So just work a bit on it. Don't be paranoid about it, but just work a bit on it step by step. If you're reaching an okay level, it's more than enough. Don't need to worry too much.
And we've got Kin. He's asking how many words should he write in our retail lecture? Keywords.
Retail lecture. That again depends on your time. I mean, noting speed, but maybe around 15-20. At least 15-20.
Or try to write on groups of words, phrases, chunks of words, and that can really help you while you're framing the sentences or while you are using a template also. So just use those phrases.
But at least like 15 to 20 you will need to speak fluently. Otherwise, these things happen. So if you have
also don't write words. as Tanu has already said, write the keywords in the term of phrases, or even if you can write the whole sentences.
Yeah.
Write it and speak it back. That way we won't get stuck while making the sentences.
Yeah, but I believe it's very hard to write the full sentence. So whatever you can capture, I think that's best. So try to capture as much as you can and make neat notes.
Yes.
That's one problem that even, you know, when I was doing PT and I was preparing myself, I used to write really fast, but after, you know, writing, I never used to understand what I've written. So write, you know, quality, not quantity.
Improve your note-taking skills.
Yes.
That is the main thing.
And also, instead of posing and saying try to use fillers.
Yes, fillers always help. That's true.
So be prepared with 1 or 2 fillers that you can use everywhere.
That's
so
right.
instead of pausing, try to use the fillers. I know fillers are sometimes not suggested, but yes, it's better than
Help
taking a pause.
Better than nothing. So yeah, definitely. We will take the last question from Pratibha.
And Pratibha is saying, does the timer in reading and writing show the total time available or left for that particular section, or is it only one timer for the whole test?
So Pratibha, for writing you get an independent timer per question. You get either 3 or 4 questions in total. So no need to worry about the writing timer. It's per question. Just follow the timer per question. It's not added later. Only it's per question.
Yeah. So for example, for summaries, it's 10 minutes for one summary. For essay, it's generally 20 minutes.
20 minutes per essay. So
Per
that's the
essay.
maximum time. How to finish it in that time. And for reading, it's an overall timer. You need to manage the time in reading. It's approximately between 32 to 41 minutes as per the PTE guideline. That's a total time for 15 to 21 questions. So be a bit good at time management. It's an overall timer. Yeah.
So guys, we have to end today's session here. You can post your comments and we'll be more than happy to answer them all. And I believe whatever we suggested, you will follow the advice and it helps you to achieve your desired scores.
Right. And thank you very much once again, Tanu. Thank you so much,
you.
Mehak, for being over here. And friends, just a friendly reminder, quick one. This Saturday, that's the 16th of March, after 2 days, I've got my masterclass here at Melbourne CBD. And just to let you know, in the past 24 hours, almost 7 students of mine have got 8 each. So 7 students in 1 day. And in the month of March, approximately 30 people have got 8 each, just in the first 14 days. So I would recommend you all to definitely attend this masterclass. It's day after tomorrow, starts at 10 in the morning and finishes around 5:30 in the evening. So it's a 1-day class. The fees is $220. Kindly attend it. And definitely even next week we have got our class at Clayton
so
as well.
on 23rd of
23rd.
March, we've got one in Clayton. And again, the same thing. The time is again 10 to 5. And the price is same, $220. And if you are really struggling to attend the regular classes, I believe this is like a one-stop.
You will get your score.
Yes, you will get your scores. It is quite helpful.
Alright, so thank you very much, and we'll come up with a new prediction file very soon. So Bhavesh, if you're listening to the video, you have your tasks lined up. Be ready with the next prediction file because the students are eagerly waiting for your next prediction file. And thank you so much for joining in. Think PT,
Thank you.
Think PT Tutorials and Aussizz Group. Thank you. Have a good day.
You.